Alright guys, well, just wanted to get out hunting today, trying a different area. Apparently this fireball flared at 27 kilometers and then continued down to like 18 or 19. And most of the guys doing the modeling said, well, after the flare the residual mass was like a kilogram or so. And based on the light curve from that, they think that that actually stayed intact and landed a mile or two that way. But it's tricky because if it's 1.5 kilos, it would be further on, another half mile or something. If it's 800 grams, it would be half mile back, and you wind up with a pretty big search area, I think. The terrain over there is horrible. It's huntable, but it's difficult. The prospect of covering a square mile or something like that would take a lot of time. So I decided to go to where they projected things would fall from the 27 kilometer flare. Because if the asteroid fragmented then, in theory it'd produce kind of a shotgun scatter of stuff. And I thought I might try to walk to where the big ones are supposed to have fallen. And just kind of cover the field between here and there. Alright, well, it's a little windy, so we'll try to keep it close here because I don't have my microphone on. It's out in the middle of nothing. I haven't seen anything human made for hours. Started finding some bullet shells. Was picking them up, then realized there were more than I wanted to carry. So that's down there. But while I was picking those up, I just saw this thing, and it's actually a bit of a knifey thing. So definitely worked. It's like half a tool or something. Part of a knife. Pretty cool though. Definitely flaked around there. So yeah, I don't know. I guess people at 2 different times decided to hang out around here. But yeah. Anyway, I haven't seen anything remotely meteorite related. And just been trying to think through the dynamics of this thing, right? As the folks who did the modeling said, flare at 27 and one thing continued on. So I don't know if I should be walking between here and where they think the 1 kilogram thing came down in the hope of like picking up stuff of intermediate masses, or if this is like as far as I want to go because I'm like maybe 150 grams. That might be as big as like things produced by the 27 kilometer thing even were. I don't know. I think I might spend some more time further back in the smaller area in the hope that the flare produced some small stuff, but I just don't know. The place where the supposed 1 kilo things is just below that mesa there. It's still about 2 miles away, I think. I got more than enough water, but if there's nothing between here and there, there's no point in walking it. I don't know. Joy of hunting for meteorite falls. Just gotta keep walking, but you want to maximize your odds. Yeah. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Let you know. The tool thing is cool. I might GPS it just because I haven't seen much else out here, but I have to think it was left by the folks who have the bullets because there's a piece of agate over there too, which looked out of place. I wonder if they were rock hounding shooting. Who knows? Don't know. Anyway. Cool to see. Yeah, I'll let you know if anything else turns up. Definitely cooler today, breezy, nice. Good. Alright, now the bullet stuff was way over there, but I think I just found a piece of fire agate. It's pretty cool. I'll wash it off later, it's still pretty crusty, but it's definitely that kind of stuff. Cool. Oh, it's just sitting here. I don't know, there's some agate stuff around, but I haven't seen anything like this yet. Cool. I don't know where it came from. We're way downhill from any bedrock. Yeah. Cool, neat. Alright, I'll get back to it. Alright guys, well I'm in a bit of a pickle now. Not really in danger, but it's frustrating. I was relying on Google Maps or Google Earth to figure out where I was out here. And reception's not great. It's like 0 to 1 bars, depending on where you're at. Sometimes enough to get a text out, sometimes enough to get a call out, but not reliable. And my Google Earth just deloaded. And now I'm left staring at a black screen that says authentication failed. Try signing in with a different account. So, my Google Maps has gone white. That map deloaded as well. So I have nothing. I have a paper map. Well, paper map's not bad. And I parked at a pretty visible spot. I'd be able to find that again. Or get to the big end. But I don't know where I am in the field exactly. And there aren't really enough landmarks out here to figure out exactly where I am. Probably doesn't matter that much, but you know, if you walk around for an hour or so, all of a sudden, who the hell knows where you are. So I don't really know what to do. Today's kind of a wash unless I get signal back and get my maps back. That's where we're at. So hopefully it changes. And if anyone from Google sees this, please fix your app, because it didn't used to do this 2 years ago is when it started. Yeah. It was riskier for me in a few other more remote spots, but this isn't great either. And it's not helpful. Alright guys, well I got a fuzzy version of my map back. I have to go into higher ground. Can't see roads or anything, but it's enough to see the rivers, which is all I need to place myself on the map. So we're good there. And just found this little thing covered with what I like to call confusion crust. It's a light colored igneous rock with nice desert varnish. Kind of looks like fusion crust, but it's like too rough. Textures are wrong. Definitely not fusion crust, not a meteorite. It kind of looks like it. Anyway. Yeah. Not everything looks like crust is crust. Definitely wouldn't be from a fall like 4 or 5 days ago anyway, way too weathered. But in theory could be something older, but it doesn't look right. Yeah. I'm half looking for older meteorites here at this point. It seems like pretty old desert pavement, but I'm still trying to focus on new stuff. Jesus, that looks good. Lightly magnetic, great texture, but that chip, yeah, that gray chip. It's crystally, but it's the wrong texture. God, that whole thing just looks rubber-clipped. It really looks... I mean, there's no way it's anything, right? No, it's basalt. Really pretty basalt. Wow. Yeah. What is it? I want to look at this more closely. So, yeah, I'm wondering if it could have been an chondrite or something, but then just here, can I focus? There we go. That white thing is quartz. So definitely some kind of fine-grained igneous rock. Just really out of place and really pretty wrong. That would have been nice. Anyway, onwards and upwards. The car is now clearer. Covered a good loop in the field, so not done yet. Nothing yet. And this desert pavement is tough, especially as you get to where the smaller stones should have fallen. I mean, that's the size of what we're looking for, and it's dark rock here, and there are a lot of dark rocks here, so I don't know if it's worth hunting here much. It might not be. It's slow going here. You can't color scan at all, so you really gotta just look down. So you're not really covering much area. Geology in other places was better. Might be worth doing the washes here if they're lighter. Yeah, this is not worth it. Oh, here we go. pretty cool. Does he have a friend today? Oh, yes, he does. I think F-35s. Sure. Yeah, cool turn. Alright. Well, back to walking. Hey, as I'm trying to get closer, I don't know how close I can get. There's a really cool bird over here. Sitting on a rock. It's been flying around me a little bit, but I couldn't get a good angle. Now, I might be able to. He's just to the left of that dead Ocotillo, sitting on a rock. He's got great striped wings. He's on top of the rock there. Now you might be able to make him out. There he goes. Crazy flying habit. Anyway. Did he stop there or did he make it out of the gully? Let's see. Let's have a look. He might have made it out. Oh, no he didn't. Crazy. Anyway, he's gone now. Nothing else to know yet. I've been sticking to the lower areas because there are fewer dark stones. Roughly the 50 to 25 gram area of the field, supposedly. That stuff would have been produced from the 27 kilometer burst if it exists. If it exists. There we go. Alright guys, well, lost maps again. Forward, I'll go in a direction that I think is still good, but that's all I can do. Here. Yeah, here's the terrain. Normally this would be a horrible place to look for anything, but because the fall was 5 or 6 days ago and it hasn't rained since then, this is the lightest ground we've got. Either side of the wash is also pretty good. It's grassy. I've already done this big flat area completely. There's nothing there. And yeah. Let's see. Not horrible. I see something black here at least. Unlike up there where there's so much dark stuff. But, yeah. I'll get back to it. Alright guys, well today, still have maps. I know we parked somewhere up in here. It's exact in here. Did a whole bunch of the river bottom because that was actually good hunting with light colored stuff. Crossed this a bunch. Wound up, I think we went pretty far down that. Came up here, did a bunch of this because that was light-ish colored, especially around the bend where the river was wider. And in here. I know I made it up to here. And then cut back across and did some of this. Made it somewhere over into here. And then I think took this down and then hunted the flat area down here where the rivers converge, I think. That's what I did. It could have been that area. Not sure. Did a big river flat though. It might have been that. Actually, it was probably that because yeah, I think it was that. Then a little bit more here, and then made it back to the car, so we're in here. I will GPS the car just to know where I started from, but I don't know if I'm coming back out here, so we'll see. It's tough because I don't actually know if there's anything here. Like they said, maybe from that flare in the fireball, but we don't know. What we're more sure of was the further end that's about a few miles away. I don't want to give numbers because I might be wrong. And I actually figured out how to drive into here on those roads. So first day I hunted a bunch of this stuff in the 1 kilogram projection because they told us to. Said it was highest odds based on what they saw on the light curve. Tough terrain, ton of dark boulders. Tough hunting, but doable. I mean, a freshman year it would stand out, but you have to be close to it because you can't scan for color. Anyway, did a bunch of that. And then did a little more wander around just to get a feel for the terrain. Yesterday, tried to do this as thoroughly as possible, that red ridge, because that really didn't have much dark stuff on it. I think did that pretty well. I got hard towards the north end because it got into the dark stuff again. But even so, tried to. Then, yeah, did some more of the lower areas here because they were lighter. All that stuff. Did a little more in here, but it got pretty thick pretty fast. And also wandered around in the back in here. There was some dark stuff, but not as much as over here, even though it looks darker. It's weird. I think that the soil here is white, but the rocks are dark, and here it's just like everything is lighter on average. Easier hunting back there. So yeah, I don't know. It's tough because according to the light curve, what came down was like a single 1 kilogram stone. And it's tough. That's a big area to find one rock in, even a big one. Especially since it's not exactly a kilo. And it could have broken up in dark flight, so like, I mean, if you assume it broke up in dark flight, then really you're looking for anything in this area. And 2 pounds of stuff scattered over 4 square miles or something like that is on a dry lake bed, maybe. Here, ooh, that's tough. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, it is open desert. There's not that much vegetation. Odds are if something fell here, it's on the surface. But I don't think it's so far here where there's so many dark rocks. And still a fair amount of trees, shrub stuff up there. There's a chance it could be gone. Just out of sight. Anyway, it's about 4, and I've got at least a 7-hour drive back. And on the one hand, I don't like leaving early. On the other hand, if I don't leave early, I'm not going into work tomorrow. And a full day at work is probably better than 2 hours in this, because this is tough. And I don't know if there's anything here, and there's so much dark stuff. I wouldn't cold hunt here by choice. It's bad. So I think we're gonna hoof it. Seems crazy. If I had another day, I'd probably go back to the big area because that trace down to 18 kilometers is good intel. But right now I'd be driving an extra hour for 2 hours of hunting, which is a bit much. And that road is rough. I don't want to do that. There's so much sand and then the tough bits at the end. So I think we're going to call it there. Crazy. Yeah. Gave it a bit of a try. Oh God, if that last little bit of the map here. Yeah, if that were like slightly better terrain, open desert, I'd probably go for it. With all the dark stuff in here, all the dark stuff up in here, and down here. And I covered this. I don't know, man. That's a tough polygon. And the thing with 1.5 kilos, it's up here, and that gets so much worse. So much worse. I don't know if that's possible even. That's the trouble. Tough. Someone might find it. It's gonna take a while. Unless they get real lucky. Could get lucky. Happens. When I come out here again? Why not? Too small. The idea that terminal mass could be 2 pounds. Given the terrain up there with all those dark rocks, that's rough. Probably gonna hit the road. Seems weird, but yeah. Bugs. Bugs. Alright. Till later. Update if anything happens. Alright, I wanted to give a big thank you to Peter Jenniskens, Denis Vida, and Hadrien Devillepoix for putting together the modeling for this and getting together all the data that we needed. Without it, I wouldn't have had a shot, and I may not have found anything, but at least I think as good odds as anyone out there. If anyone wants to hunt based on these maps, there are almost certainly rocks out there. And if you find one, you'll owe it to them.